Hi guys, it's fall again. It's not exactly a nice day, but they said it's not gonna rain too much, hopefully. So I'm gonna drive a car to this hot rod car show, which actually not really actually a hot rod, but I don't mind if it rains on it. So here's my 1977 Mercury Marquis, and I just added that nice little angel to the front. I really like that. I had a 1966 Mercury Meteor convertible in Hungary when I was a teenager, and I really love that angel on the front of it. So I found one of these very cheap on eBay because it was somewhat broken, so it's on it. Well, let's start up the beast and let's head out. I got here a little early, but now it gives us a chance to listen to all the cars when they're coming in on the front. So we're gonna walk down at the end and then start recording. personally hope you guys enjoyed the sounds as the cars were arriving. I look at this nice little Sprigget or MG and the contrast between the Ford pickup truck behind it. Very interesting to see the size difference, but this was from a different era. Back then the size weren't as big as today. So here's the little British car, just a nice little roadster. Well, let's go walk around. We'll look at this vintage Honda. There are a couple motorcycles too. They came out despite the rain, but the rain actually stopped. And what that one is, looks like Daddy's hitchhiking on the little car. The idea behind this car show was to invite all the go jobs in the area and make a nice car show from the 1940s and before, or 1946 and prior to that. And while these ones are prior to 1940s, but these are not hot rods. These are basically a very nicely done original Ford Model A's. Model A's came after the Model T. They look very original and very nice looking. I think this one is a coupe, and then behind it's a rumble seat. It looks like the trunk, and you can open up the trunk and crawl in it. And that was basically a spare seat. They call it the rumble seat because everything was rumbling around you. There are some pickup trucks. They're getting really pricey nowadays. For some reason still unknown to me, the local area, they really love Chevys and really despise Fords. But look at this thing. Isn't that crazy? I don't know who built it, but man, look at the tiny steering wheel. Those tiny steering wheels came from the Los Angeles area. Basically, the idea was if the Chicanos got arrested and handcuffed to the steering wheel, they were still able to get away with handcuffed to the steering wheel. That's why they had these tiny steering wheels. I had these pickup trucks in Texas. I had 2.5 of these, but then I had to sell them when I left, and they were never done. I wanted to put a Mercedes diesel engine in it. I had a 5-cylinder turbo diesel, which is exactly fixed really nicely into this engine compartment instead of that stovebolt 6 what used to have in it. But nowadays they're all V8s. This car show was also for the kids who were invited to do trick-or-treating. This is Halloween, we're remembering dead people and stuff, so there are all kind of skeletons and candy and stuff everywhere else. The reason why I have to explain what that is because some of my viewers are actually from Europe, and then they do not have Halloween in Europe or trick-or-treating. This is truly an originally American thing, as I understand. And in front of the cars you can see candies, and looks like the lady was still thinking she was a little girl because she just stole a bunch of candy and she wasn't even dressed up in any kind of costume. But let's keep going and look at these cars. There are all kind of variations of hot rods here. There's a very good selection of them.
Looks like we're in for nasty weather. One eye is taken for an eye. Well, don't go around tonight. Well, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Don't go around tonight.
this car is a British car as well. It's a Ford Anglia. It used to have a tiny little 4-cylinder engine, I think maybe about 30 or 40 horsepower on a good day. And people used to drive them with tiny little suitcases on the roof rack in England. And it's just crazy how much horsepower they squeezed into this little thing. Unbelievable.
Your dad and I looked like one of those when you kids were little. It was in some, yeah, in the basement.
I still like these pickup trucks, and I really like that this guy actually put a Cummins diesel in it, a turbo diesel of all. I think he used a different frame from another truck, I guess, and then he squeezed the engine in the front. So now it actually smells like diesel fuel, and it's got the extra windows on the side, and here it is. It's actually a Cummins diesel engine. I think this is a pretty good idea to build one of these. Now the organizers started this car show with in mind of these cars, what you see here. This is actually a true hot rod in a traditional sense. There's all kind of odd looking repairs on it. A long time ago, the car manufacturers substituted the roof with some sort of fabric and wood because they couldn't press a large enough surface out to have a roof made. So that's why these roofs were made out of fabric and wood frame. But you can see that on this car pretty well. And there's the trick-or-treating tray with all the candy for the kids. And a pretty standard small block Chevy with a very modern alternator on it. That's my only complaint. Otherwise, this car is gorgeous. I love it. Look at those oversized lights. Awesome. The idea behind these cars were that right after the war, people had no money. They had all these Model A's and Model T's laying around everywhere, and you can buy a nice new V8 engine or actually get it out of the junkyard from a rack, and then just basically build your own car out of nothing. So like high school boys were able to build one of these things, and then they had a means of transportation right off the bat. So basically they just done it with parts what they were able to find. So this kind of era was revived with these cars because now people are actually going to swap meets and trying to find all those parts what now are very coveted and very hard to find. But back then they were laying everywhere. You know, you can go to a junkyard and pick up a Chevy engine out of a 1950s anything, and they had these 1950s tires. That's why it's really nice to see these original looking tires on them, because that was the same thing. They just rolled it off of a Chevy, and then that's how they had these larger tires on the back, smaller on the front, and they did what they had to make the car run. As I understand, they really call them go jobs, and then like GO jobs. And then later on, a hot rod magazine came about, and then the hot rod word got popular, and then now they all call them hot rods. Of course, there are a million variations because even today, people just basically put whatever they want in it. They just make it their own car the way they like to see it, the kind of paint job they want, and the kind of cars they want to put on. Good thing we still have freedom in Kentucky because we have absolutely no safety inspection, no emissions, no nothing. So it's great. You can build anything you want and you can go with it. Or you can put LED lights on this really old Chevy. I got a friend, his name is Ricky. He's awesome. He's an old hot rodder. And then he has one of these cars in his man cave. It's exactly the same color. Like actually there's no color on it. So it looks like it's a top chop, but it really is not a top chop. It's a very good looking original body, so they didn't really chop it. It just basically looked like they chopped it. The reason for behind the top chop, by the way, is that people were wearing hats in the 1950s, so they had to be able to get into their car in a hat on, and therefore they built the cars a lot taller inside. So then even if you take out a couple inches, without a hat, you can still actually fit in them very nicely. I might be mistaken, but those seats look like out of a bug. like a Volkswagen Beetle, but they're still going well with the car. So look at those windshield wipers. They're coming down from the top, and then they have this split window, but there is no divider in between. It's very interesting. So pretty much you can build anything you want. That's really interesting for me growing up in Europe. I wonder if this decal and this paint job is original, because it looks very, very period correct. The whole car looks really awesome. I'm not exactly a Camaro guy, but I really like when I see something original. Oh, there was a beetle just came in. I think there was only 2 beetles here. But again, inside it's like a really nicely done car, inside and out. It has that roof. I don't know if it's original or not, but it looks very nice. Let me know what you think, or if you ever knew about this car. And now this thing is actually thrown my circuit breaker off. It's crazy. This is an old Buick. It's an early Dynaflow behind it. There's 2 different versions of the Dynaflow transmission. This one has the older one, and then also a straight 8 engine in it, and of course a 59 Cadillac. This 59 Cadillac is just long. Look at this. It's still going, and then there are the fins. Crazy. I don't care what condition a 59 Cadillac is, it's always a good looking car. As we keep walking around, you can see a very nice cross section of the Kentucky classic car scene. I'm not sure I could call these classic cars, but let's say old car scene. Here's a nice big T-Bird with a chicken on the hood, and a Chevy Nova, and there's all kind of cars here. Like this car had a really new, very modern engine in it. I'm not sure how much I appreciate that, but it's there. It's as long as the owner likes it, that's all what matters. This is not a truck, this is not a car, it's an El Camino, and it's actually for sale. There were Ford versions of these cars too. They call them Ranchos, but this one is an El Camino. And then here's a real traditional hot rod. This is how it's supposed to look like from the 50s. This is really nicely done, so maybe a rich kid was able to do that to his car, but this is very nicely done. Very, very nice. Nice paint job, nice everything was on it. Now this car looks like maybe it's a work in progress, but I have a feeling that this car is actually done, and it's done the way the owner wants it to be done. You can see the roof, you can see that here's the wooden frame what's supposed to support that soft top part, you know, what the manufacturer used to substitute the big metal piece in it. And here's one of the buggies. Every bug owner has to modify their bug accordingly. They wanted, there's a nice bluegrass Volkswagen Beetle Club sign, and this car is very clean, although it's been modified, I guess, the way the owner likes it. Very clean engine as well. My daughter has a 68 Volkswagen Beetle. Looks like it's an alternator looking generator, or a generator looking generator, or an alternator, well, whatever. So anyhow, it's a nice car. 57 Chevys are really easy to fix up because you can buy pretty much anything for this car, mostly made in China. But look at this interior. There's a RPM gauge, and look at those seats. I love those seats. They're very original looking seats, and the whole car I just like, except the battery. But it's a nice car. I really like it. And then here is my big rusted Mercury. I had to park sideways because it was so large. looks like this car was just done recently and with a very unusual Cadillac engine in it. But it looks like it's a T-bucket from the outside, but the dash doesn't look like a Model T, so I don't know. The body, the top part, looks like a Model T, but the rest does not. So the backside also looked like a Model T, so I just don't know. I give up. Now here's a kind of an unusual car. I haven't seen one for a very long time. It has some serious engine in it. When it was coming in, I heard it. There's something gas in there. It's a Studebaker. I think it must be a Champion. It's baby blue color and not too much of a modification other than underneath, what you can't see. So I guess maybe the idea was to build a sleeper out of it. Very interesting looking car, almost like a Wartburg, old Wartburg from East Germany, with all these lines and everything. It's just a quite a bit larger car than a Wartburg, but that's what it reminds me of. Look inside too, very interesting. At least it's interesting to me.
Come on over, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. Yeah, come on over, baby, honey, you can't go wrong. We ain't faking, whole lot of shaking going on. Yeah, come on over, baby, we got chicken in the barn. Come on over, honey, where we got the bull by the horn. We ain't faking, there's a whole lot of shaking going on. I say shake, baby, shake. I say shake, baby, shake. Shake it, baby, shake. Shake, baby, shake. We ain't faking, there's a whole lot of shaking going on. Let's go one time now.
This annual event was organized by this hot rod shop over here. They're called Shelby's Way, and they have a website. Please go and check it out, shelbysway.com. And they were collecting money for a cause. Please support their cause and go on their website and you can see it. And these cars belong to the inner circle. You can't just park here. These cars are guys who basically are members of this club, or they're really close to the owner. There are some cars which kind of different, like this thing. I don't know what that big spoiler is. Looks like it's want to go fast, but then you're sitting so high up in the air. I just don't understand it, but that doesn't mean much. I don't have to understand it. That's how the owner likes it. That's what it is. On the other hand, if you go further out, here is this coupe. This coupe is very magnificently done. It's got some ghost flames and beautiful paint job, even in the real life, not just on the camera. This paint job is actually really super nice. So this car belongs to Tracy, and Tracy is a painter and a very good one from all. And he built this car. It's got like a remote door and all kind of things. Now this thing is a traditional paint job. I really enjoy seeing this paint job. It's just beautiful the way it was done. It's very basic. There's not too many colors, but the colors just flowing just right, and then the whole thing is just really nicely done. They got that hot rod black color and then this very traditional flames. When you think about a hot rod, I think this is what's in my head. It's just very nice looking the way it's coming at you. And they have these huge drum brakes. I think those are Buick brakes, but I'm not totally sure. I think I got a few of those at home with the aluminum looking brake drums. And yeah, it's just nicely done. The whole thing is just perfect the way it is. Very nice interior. Just like the flames are actually coming out of the dash as well, and a nice upholstery in it. It's just a gorgeous car. Got the hinge on the outside. I don't think it was like that on the original car. There are some louvers punched in the trunk as well. Let's look at this rear axle. It's like a quick change rear axle, so you can actually change the gear ratio. So you drive out to the race with one gear ratio, and then you just unscrew this rear panel, and then you just change the gear ratio for the race. Depends on how fast you want to go with it. You want to really have a tall end, or you want to have a short end, you can just change the gears in it and then get the differential gear gearing what you actually want with it. I'm not exactly sure what happened here. So look at this. Let's analyze this. I'm not sure if it's possible to analyze it. There's all kind of things what went into this car. I guess I could call it an art form at this point, because you're just having a really hard time comprehending what you see here. So many things done on a different way than someone would do it, but I guess maybe that's how it was the best for the owner. There's the gas tank on the back and a mini bike, and there's something unusual to see on this car all around. Now there's something else what's kind of easier to comprehend for me. Very nicely, tastefully detailed with side graffitis and side signs. There is a spoiler on the back. I'm not totally sure why. And then there's a net on it to hold the cargo in. And the whole thing, it just looks like it's nicely done all the way around.
$14.95 and 1948, I go to rock and roll party on my last birthday, but it's good. Rocking my life away. I'm just moving and grooving and doing it both night and day. I got a gal called Nellie, she's chili pepper hot. She know how to roll a killer, she know how to rock. I'm rocking my life away. I like the boogie woogie, baby, I like to do it both night and day. Hey, hey, ow! Streamline, bleed line, military brass. She knows the gentle daughter, but the killer stop brass. I'm rocking my life away. Hey, hey, I'm just moving and grooving and rocking both night and day. Come on, slide. Went partying the other night, started drinking and got real tight. We was playing with all our friends, felt so good we had to play it again. Hey bartender, hey man, look at here. Hey bartender, draw one, draw two, draw three more glasses of beer. She was sitting down on the end. I said, baby, can we be friends? You look as sweet as can be. Come on down and drink with me. Hey, bartender. Hey, man. Hey, bartender. Draw one, draw two, draw three more glasses of beer.
And now let's look at these two AMC products. This one looks like a Javelin. It's sounded like a highly modified car. Very rare piece. I never really seen them on another one other than this. I've seen them on pictures, but not in real life. And here's this other one, this white one. I really don't know what it is. It looks like an AMC as well. You know, there was American Motors Corporation. It was not involved with Chevy or Ford or Chrysler, so they were independent manufacturers. The inside looks really nice, and looked like the engine was detailed and a couple of parts were deleted in the process, and MSD makes a distributor for it. Definitely was interesting to see both of them here today. I guess when you bring a car out to a car show, then you feel the need to detail it right away. So you're gonna spray all kind of liquids on the tires and then try to make it look shiny and presentable, and find all kind of dirt on it which was not on before. But that was a Ford Rancho, by the way. And here's a Model A truck. At the first glance it looks like a perfectly original car, but the hood is kind of open, so you can see there's a modern V8 engine in it. It has a really nice original looking paint job, but when you look inside there is some modern seat in it, reupholstered, and then the dash and the steering wheel and so on. But it looks like a nice little old car from the outside. That's why it's kind of interesting. The floorboard was changed to be a complete piece of wood, so there's no more little planks in it. And the whole thing kind of looks like a usable, old looking but modernized vehicle. Now let's go look at this Volkswagen Beetle. Looks like it's a student driver, has a bicycle on the roof rack on the back. And yeah, it looks partially original, partially modified. Oh, this does have air conditioning on the front. See when you open up the windshield. And there's a tricycle with an engine on it. So you can see all kind of weird stuff here all day long, no matter what. Though I haven't seen it running. And then here's a green Blazer with a green porta potty. I guess they match really well in the color. Now, if I would have a car like this, it would be orange with a number on the side, you know that. But I guess the owner was tired of those orange cars, so he had to build one for his own taste. So door handles are shaved, windows are darkened. This looks like a plain Jane 57 four-door Chevy wagon. Very rare to see wagons nowadays. I have a 56 Buick wagon. I only seen another one in my whole life, in real life. So the wagons are kind of scarce nowadays. Looks like they changed the radiator to an aluminum radiator to make it more drivable. Now this car looks like a sleeper car. Like you have those wheels with the poverty hubcaps on it, and inside looks somewhat original. It's black, but you can tell that there is something up to it. You know, there is something with this car. So I'm pretty sure it has some large engine in it, and you would be surprised trying to race it at the stoplight. Now let's look inside. How does it look inside? Well, if you look at it, it's very tastefully modified. There's a cup holder in the middle. You gotta have a cup holder, and bucket seats and floor shifter, 3 pedals. Yeah, this is a real sleeper car. I really like this one. Nice jet black color. JDM means Japanese domestic market, so these cars were not exported out of Japan. This silver colored car was a right-hand drive, and this thing, that thing is a real hot rod. I don't know what else to tell you. It's chopped. And now what to say about this one? So I can call it a hot rod, I guess. Maybe it's a runaway from Atlanta. I don't know. It's got a lot of very wild colors, and looks like there was a lot of work went into it. It's super high on very large wheels, and I don't know if they trailered it here or actually drove it here, but this is something else. Thank you for watching this, and hopefully next Friday I'll see you with something else. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to my channel. I have putting out new videos every Friday. Bye.